Hello, everybody. Give me a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. I'm trying out my new system, so I'm making sure that it's working. Give me a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. All right, y'all can hear me now. Hello, hello, hello. Let me turn this up. All right, can y'all hear me better now? Just getting used to it, guys. Just getting used to it. All right, wonderful, wonderful. So let's see. I got different little things. Hold on. Hello, Ashley. I'm still learning to set this up and how to use it. Make sure that it gives me the ability to do echo and little sounds. I don't know. I'm just adjusting treble and bass. Hey, Miss Gina, Wild Horses, Sugar Darling, Lady Marie, Debbie Z, G, Volume, Humans, Gigi. Yeah, I found that it gets stronger as it goes along. Some reason I got an echo in my headphones. I'm trying to work on that. I don't know. Okay. See, I've got a lot of knobs to adjust. What's up, you know? Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. So hopefully, let me see. I'll adjust the mic here just a little. See if that makes it any clearer or better to hear. Hello, Sandra. No, Miss Ashley, I did not get your text. I am so sorry, my darling. What's up, Sassy? So I wanted to talk about a few things. We've heard a lot of talk in Summer's case and with the Cal City Boys case about lie detectors, um, stories. I told you guys I wanted y'all to do a comparison between the West adopted parents, ugh, um, news interview, the All in Black Mr. Thummy Thumb Thumbs interview, as well as to look at the Sermon on the Mount with the Wells parents, and then compare it to any of Michael Bond's mama's interviews, um, and see what y'all thought. In the same vein is where I'm going to be continuing. All the videos, everything I'm about to show, the links are already included in the description. I'm sure you've probably seen it on other channels and heard about it. Today, it's kind of going to be a combination of talking about classic and sincere, and talking about let's see, I'm just still adjusting buttons, you guys, to get everything right and stable. Um, so just bear with me. But yeah, cancer does suck, Miss Ashley. I can definitely attest to that. Um, let's see. That might also help in clearing my voice up and making it more stable just now. I did a few more adjustments. Um, what I was going to say, the reason I personally see parallels. I didn't really, on my channel, I haven't covered Classic and Sincere's case because that's on the other side of the U.S. from where I live, the opposite coast. Um, so I've not put into work, I've not put into research, none of that to report, have an opinion and thoughts. What I'm going by is actual court documents that I have been sent, I've seen, I've pulled up, whatever, and what I've seen on the news, and I want to compare it to the cases that we've talked about, especially Summer's case, because there are so many parallels, and I think it's important for us to pick up on those to get an idea where the case is going. Listen, Ronnie Lawson gave us the best indicator of where this case is going the other day. When you look at that and then compare that to what we see going on in Summer's case, I mean, and the West case, it's kind of like a punch in the chest to a point too. Welcome, Killer Looks. How you doing? So I just got a few clips and things lined up to look at. First, let's see. Which one do I want to look at first? Just for background purposes. I know Candace said she didn't have a lawyer. Ronnie Lawson said she did. I've never heard law enforcement say they did or didn't pass the test. So I don't know. But what I'm about to show you is something beyond the test. That I think if you just listen to what this gentleman says, it's a clip from the Steve Wilkos show. The lie detector guy from there, which is actually, believe it or not, he's one of the more credible, um, accredited readers. You can take the same lie detector test and two different readers get two possible different answers unless it's just all the way off the spectrum, you know? When it's close, those answers can be variable. And what people don't realize is not only are there tactics you can take, but also know there are certain medical conditions that you can have that are untreated that can cause a lie detector test to be ineffective or inconclusive. High blood pressure is one. A lot of people don't know that. So, uh, certain things like that need to be taken into consideration. And the people that administer those, just like anybody else, you can get an associate, a bachelor's, a PhD, a master's. You know what I'm saying? And when it's a case like this, personally, I want the person with that master's. I want that person. Some things you want a combination of the most education, but also the most performed. Because somebody might have a master's degree in something, but hasn't actually performed it actively in the field in years. I think Dr. Phil could have done better too. Why are we seeing kid gloves come out? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've done heart wrenching, heart searching, whatever you call it. Um, and at the end of the day, I came here to be an advocate for the voiceless, not for grown folks that are able to make their own YouTube channel and speak for themselves. You dig? So my reason for being here, is the child. So And I got away from that for a moment, and I had to center myself. I've got good people around me that bring me back, and that's where I'm at. So it's research, 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 facts and documents. And fact is, sometimes there's a blueprint for things, and when we start getting immersed and down the rabbit hole, we fail to see the whole picture. And you have to be able to see the whole picture as well as a microscopic one. I still believe drugs are an integral part of what occurred with some, whether it was using and not paying attention, whether it was pissing somebody off that did something, whether it was leaving them laying around where they could be grabbed a hold of. Okay? What's up, Navy Mom? Seeking serenity. But I'm saying something, I do feel like drugs played a part in this case. Period. There's a period there. I don't see that going away. I feel the parents have knowledge that they haven't revealed to YouTubers. Let me say that again. Knowledge they haven't revealed to new YouTubers. We don't know what they've told the cops. I 1,000% believe the cops know shit we don't know. You know? Um, I am, and I'm trying to not be involved with YouTube drama. What I'm commenting on or have to say something about or comment about are people who are involved in and are persons of interest in the case and how it affects Summer and Summer's case. If anything else, I'm not involved in. Um, I say that because I do have the clip, a pretty good one, available of the dirty delete from somebody who I'm not going to call his name live stream where they were talking about one of the parents. Um, hey, that's personal issues and such. Uh, that I'm not going to comment on. Couple of points that I want to make before I get into some clips. Let me say something. Yes, my back is still killing me. Yes, this is probably going to be one of my shortest live streams ever because I do have some stuff I want to show and talk about and get out there, but I am hurting and I went still um the wrong way and it's the problem. Uh, I didn't get my muscle relaxers. It is what it is. I got the steroids and the other stuff. So, anyways, we're gonna make it pretty, pretty fast. I agree, Betty Joe. There's things. Oh, thank you from one of the Ashley. Thank you. Bless your heart. I just 604. I'm praying for you right now, my love, and your whole family. Uh, I've got some Dr. Teal's, Gigi, on it for the one for the sore muscles. It's just going to take a while to heal, is what they're saying. I've got some just torn muscles and ligaments and stuff. Get it right. What's up, true crime and other stuff? Good to see you again. Valkyrie pops in. We'll have a reunion from this morning. Um, but no, there was some stuff that, like, just the lawyer thing. Um, I'm not sure what Shirley Hanko means. I'm confused. What's up, Smiley? How you doing? Uh, so there's just a parallel. And some things, especially where law enforcement is concerned, I'd like for us to keep in mind. Um, the first is looking at the West case. The district attorney, in her statement, like second sentence, made a very, very important point that bears repeating more than once. You know what I mean? Um, she stated that since the first week, and I believe it was the first week after Bakersfield took over the investigation, that the trajectory of the investigation had been on a specific day, and that they had known what was going on in the home. That would also coincide with the week that the other 4 children were removed from the home. Now, why is that important in Summer's case? Okay, guys, all these times that maybe we've been thinking that the police aren't doing shit and they suck. They may very well suck and they might not have been doing shit. Or, like in the West case, they working behind the scenes. One thing that's striking to me is where was the evidence collection? Where was any evidence collection on Summer's case? Not was the house. I mean, has anyone seen reports of? I looked on TBI and they talk about collecting evidence, but did we see the house fingerprinted, swab, sprayed, blood checked, cars, vehicles, trucks? Did we hear about even that? Did we see? You know, in the West case, we can go back and look, and I can find you some video footage of crime lab trucks and shit on the scene. Did we see those anywhere in Summer's case? That bothers me. That's a huge, to me, everybody keeps hollering red flags. To me, that was a red flag. We've not seen that. So, did it or did it not occur? Did they check the house? How do we know? You know, as close to the vest as everything was kept in the West case, we did see forensics on scene more than once and footage of bags and stuff being carried out. We've not even smelled a forensics truck nowhere in Summer's case. I'm wondering about that. What's up with that? I don't blame Marie. I'm being real. I'm keeping it 1,000% real with y'all right now. That's, to me, that's been a huge issue since my day one in the case. Now, you want to be neutral? Let's be neutral. If you want me to be neutral, I can be neutral on this one. Because this could be good or bad for the family. This could be good or bad for anybody. Right. And that's exactly, Ashley. She said they talk about someone coming in and taking her, but never once seen anything of fingerprints being taken. We didn't see no fingerprints. We see dogs. That's always dogs and drones. Where's the crime lab? Where is the forensics? Where is that? Why are we not seeing that? Why have we not heard about it? Y'all can't tell me that a news crew wouldn't have been up on Ben Hill if the crime lab truck was rolled out. Jody Sue's got a channel. She'd have talked about it. Something, something. Now the camera apparently that got took is back because y'all seen if anybody that's been to Candace's channel, either that or she got her a new one. Exactly right, Smiley. It's too late to search for any evidence now. That shit's gone. Gone, gone, gone with the wind. Real talk. You know, I'm just over that. That to me is a huge red flag. And I don't care, how we look at it. Whether, listen, whether you support the family or think they should fry. Oh, actually, I can tell you why the 911 call ain't been released. Now, that's a whole different ballgame. That 911 call hasn't been released and won't be released. There's something in there this is what leads me to believe that Candace and Don need to be watching the West case rather than Michael Bond's case. Because regardless of whether they're innocent or guilty, that's the way their case is headed. Did someone send like a super chat or super sticker or something? I missed that. Because I see people thanking somebody. I'm confused. I don't know. I feel like one of the boys is going to be the key as well. And just like the West case, one, if not all four of those children is the key to them too. Because they told it. Y'all best believe that. And somebody in that family is talking too. That's my personal opinion. I have a copy of the indictment and one pertinent page. But yeah, because listen, Candace and Don need to also understand. All I've heard, Betty Joe, is that the TBI was taken over for Ronnie. What it was said, what actually was literally said was co, basically co-running the investigation. But TBI would be like the main contact. Let me just show y'all. First of all, we talked about on the last live stream, and I know y'all probably seen this a bazillion times on other channels, so I'll make it fast. But Candace said she didn't have a lawyer. This is my problem with the parents right here, in a nutshell. We've seen it in writing that she wrote to Inslee Adams that she did not have an attorney. Okay? Then we see her on the channel saying, "What? I'll show you." But we've seen it in writing. Her and Grandis said Candace told her she didn't have an attorney. So which is the truth and which is a lie?
Gag order too? Have you talked to them about that?
Everybody else has a gag order too.
Well, you need to go down to the sheriff's office and talk about some of the YouTube crap and have them to tell them about the mail that's coming in there and explain to them what
my
some
lawyer is
YouTubers
on
is
that to it.
Did you? Oh, my lawyer's all over it. What? You're who? You're what? You don't have a lawyer. Remember? So, what is it? Teresa, I think I got a Christmas card. How are you doing? But my thing on this is you put in writing and signed it and gave it to a journalist. The CPS attorney is not going to handle what's coming in the mail threatening them or anything else. So Either you're lying about having a lawyer, and then you're telling the truth about not having one, or you tell the truth about having one and lying about not having one. I'm glad to hear that, Miss Teresa. I'm glad to see you back in. I think she meant everyone in the family has a gag order. But what he was talking about was the threats and stuff that had been in the mail, because I had watched back on that. But the thing is, you don't have a lawyer that you can send to go at people for something. If it's a C, and let me further iterate. In that CPS case, the only people that are going to get appointed court-appointed lawyers is the children, and yep, the parents still got to pay for them. At least in North Carolina, they do, even if it's against you. The type of attorney that would go and address anything like the mail they've been getting, the people showing up at their house, and that kind of stuff at the sheriff's department would not be the same type of attorney that would be present in any CPS case. Yep, only for the kids. Exactly. Exactly. Now, can another attorney look at that case and what's being alleged and said in that case and decide that they don't want to be retained by that individual? I don't know the specifics. That gets into legal ethics. And if you're appointed, you're under different legal ethics than if you're retained. So that would be something more for the bar, the state bar, to answer. I don't seeking. I'm not sure then what it is for Tennessee. I know in North Carolina, if CPS is taking you to court, and it's a case like that, that's not criminal. When it gets criminal, you get different. When you're still in the CPS civil territory, only the children have, uh, and usually the attorneys are called guardian ad litem. Um, and that person can decide what school the child will be placed in, what their monthly stipend is. It goes directly to them. Can they make a large purchase from their bank account? All kinds of different things, as well as about legal counsel and stuff. Um, it gets really technical. True, GT. I I feel you, Betty Joe. We in agreement. Another thing, let's see, that I'm gonna share. Those of you that are Candace supporters, I'm gonna say trigger warning on this one. But this is anonymous true crime. I'm gonna mute the sound because they have music in the background. So I'm gonna slow it down to see the words that are on the screen. I want to play this before I play the clip because I just want certain things in mind. Right, exactly. And let me say this. Even if they had a CPS attorney appointed to the parents, that attorney would not address anything coming in the mail or any type of threats or anything else for the parents. The only thing that they will address is the CPS case they're appointed. Just like Don's DUI lawyer. Any other cases, that attorney has to get appointed or retained. Period. Period. And another thing, if you get a court appointed attorney, that attorney only gets paid if you lose. Otherwise, it's pro bono work, and they're required to be in the rotation unless they have a reason to not get in it. Most attorneys hate that shit. Just FYI. Oh, y'all, that hurts, but sneezing hurts the worst. Okay, so let's just share a couple things real quick. Anonymous True Crime. The link to this video is also in the description box. Okay, I've got it muted. I'm going to slow it down. Check out that weed. Like, share, bell, follow. My favorite sentence. There's something coming up I want to pause on. The main whole reason I wanted to even watch this video. Where did it go? Ah, now I'm upset. There's a still shot that I wanted. Thought it was in this video. Now I'm gonna have to go watch and find which one it was in, you guys. I'm sorry. Uh, the whole reason I had the video loaded. It's actually it's actually a sign about child abuse. Okay. Okay. Now I've got this queued up. And this is something that's applicable. I just want to listen. I'm going to pause and discuss while we're doing this too.
I have a medical condition that's untreated, so unfortunately I couldn't.
Okay, hold on.
Get a polygraph result, but as I often do, I conduct other credibility assessment tests, which are.
Okay. So credibility assessment test is what we're going to be looking at in this clip and talking about. And it's real important when he's talking about certain things in statements and the way statements flow and stuff. I really want y'all, I know the visual is Steve Wilkos, but I want y'all to think about statements made by the parents, specifically Don, and apply what he talks about here in listening to their statement. Bingo. If it doesn't add up, it's because the truth ain't in it. We've been saying that for a long time. Here's a parallel about not adding up between Classic and Sincere, the West Boys, and Summer Wells. Children don't just disappear. Children don't just evaporate with no trace.
The story doesn't make sense. When I interviewed her, she went off on tangents, couldn't answer questions directly.
How often is Don being interviewed on YouTube channels and other places does he get asked a question? Somebody grab Michelle Lambert. Does he get asked a question and he goes off on a tangent? Whether it's preaching us about the scripture or telling us a story of when something happened. Like, you know, he's the one that told Chris McDonough about running drugs to Mexico and back. That wasn't even the question he was asked. How many times have we seen interviews where one of the both of them has been asked questions and we get 30 minutes of word salad and no freaking answer? We get what usually happens and always and she ran to the water like she always does. She jumped right up like always. And we get a story when all we're asking is, what did you do when you got home? But we hear what always happens from Candace, and from Dawn we hear what happened 5 years ago, or we get a scripture verse about what's going on. I mean, but we don't get direct answers. We get drove all around the mulberry bush.
She rambled, she over-explained, she puts in a lot of unimportant information. Those are all signs.
Exactly. Again, the same with Candace and I'm talking about the timeline. When we get told about the timeline, we get extra information that's not necessary. When she's doing the interview with Chris, when we're going back over it with Truth to Lies, part 1 and part 2 of Candace's, and I'm on that because that's what we just finished doing. We get told all about the candy, Grandma, the conversation she had with Grandma, conversation she had with the boys, conversation she had with H. Where's the conversation she had with Summer? Where's the interaction? It's always usually does. Always does. See, where are the specifics for that day? Why do we not have any specifics for that day? It's always usual. And if we get too close, we catch a preaching sermon. What's up with that? Welcome, Sharon, Deb Gray, Susan Sutherland. Let's hear a few other things to look for. This is almost done with what? Literally, it's about 15 seconds, I think, total. I wonder what our parents scored. You know, I just think it's important to know that there are other things that are indicators to me that law enforcement is looking a specific direction with this case. Betty Jo says she bet it was a 5. Y'all killing me. Okay, let's see if he says anything else. I think that was pretty much it, but.
Okay. Another thing, Steve, is she says she tickled the child, correct? And that the child's head would go toward.
I want y'all to listen to this, and I'm not even going to tell y'all. I want y'all to find it and let me know if you know what I'm talking about or if you found it. There's something he's going to tell about, and it's how it's a dead giveaway because she's right-handed. She says, I'm going to tell you this part to give you a little bit of background so you can catch it faster. She told him she's right-handed, which is true, and that when she tickles the baby, the head goes towards the tickle, which would be where your hand goes. He's going to show how she tells on herself again. I don't know, because she didn't go out the door with her. She's out there playing unattended. I would love to see this guy right here do they lie detector test. That's what I would love to see. The reason I wanted to call attention to that part about the tickle is because I wanted y'all to realize how quick and easy a liar can get caught up and derail their entire story. All it takes is one little reflective answer off the script that wasn't pre-planned to crumble the whole house of cards. I think we got players in this game that can't handle that pressure, you guys. And we got to keep applying it every single day. Summer Moon Utah Wells. We're not going to stop saying her name. We're not going to stop asking questions. We're not going to stop looking. We're not going to stop. We're not. So what are we going to do? We're going to say her name every day. And we're going to keep digging. I'm going to keep showing all that's gone on in Beach Creek in the past 100, 200, 300 years. We're going to keep calling attention to it. We're going to keep calling you out. We're going to keep asking questions. We're not going to stop until we have answers. It is what it is. I think I've said it since day one. I took heat for it, but I firmly believe that the parents know what's going on. I think that the parents know more than they're telling. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. And just so y'all know, I'm working on verifying some stuff to find out. But Tim Mullins, I want to know. Question for Tim Mullins or any of his associates. Did you work at the mental hospital or were you a patient? With, let's see, ooh, it's the lady that was making the comments. With Beverly. Did you and Miss Beverly work together? Or were y'all both patients? Grandis didn't say that she wasn't there, Grandis acted like she couldn't remember where there was. She stumbled trying to figure out at Warriors, I think it was, we were swimming. I can't show that because Inslee works for WJHL, and they will hit you with a cease and desist faster than you can say it. Yep. Wasn't asking Candace questions that I'm talking about. That Tim Mullen, I got the whole 4 pages worth screenshot, or better, no, about 8 of the questions that were being asked of Mr. Mullen. Yep, Betty. She changed the whole timeline. She put a nap in there before planting cacti. That wasn't discussed. I guess her nap was less than 15 minutes, however long it took to put the groceries for Candace and the boys to get the groceries put up. Because right after they got home, Candace, being the good daughter she was, went to help her mama put the knee brace on. I'm being sarcastic. sorry, y'all. I'm being sarcastic. Because I'm just irritated. One, I'm in pain. And, right, I didn't even watch that dumb shit. I seen a little bit of it, Suzanne, and I seen how it was going. Can you say a campaign? I don't even want to talk about it. It just had to irk my soul. Katie, that the reason I'm not commenting on that particular interview with Miss Emma is because Grandis has stated that wasn't her. Grandis has stated that wasn't her in this text. She can't say it wasn't her because we seen her. And Melissa, I don't think she has a different truck. I think she has a different truck bed. Like the tailgate thing that comes down, whatever you call that. Sure was crazy, Suzanne. It was BS is what it was. Katie, I'm not saying I don't think it was her. I'm saying we can definitely confirm it was her in the interview that Inslee Adams did. Until that point, Grandis has denied. That's what I think they're doing is reading, like just reading a transcript exactly. Suzanne, I can't. Yeah, they all lie, Katie. 1,000% true. Me and you, same page, Katie, same page.
Awesome!
Oh, so what else is on everybody's mind today? Do y'all think that we gonna see uh Candace and Mr. Benny fighting anytime soon after what happened and Penny's faux pas? Sorry, Gigi. I wonder, Debbie, if they've turned all their phones in. My dadgum self. This is the new thingy I'm trying. I won't do the gunshot. Listen, I can even change my voice if I remember how. Okay, let's see.
So can y'all hear me now? How do I think? Oh, y'all funny. Y'all like this voice?
Or maybe this one is better. What do y'all think? Which one should be my interview voice? But remember, people can't change their voices or pictures, not while they're alive. No.
Someone could change their voice. Could be a live stream today.
I mean, could I make my voice sound like someone I'm not while in the middle of a live stream? Or maybe I could also change my voice and picture while in the middle of a live stream.
And we're back to me. Crafting with Amy. Sorry, honey. Lay down and get some rest and get to feeling better. Ugh. So, one theory that I wanted to bring to you guys that actually it was myself and two of my friends were discussing. Grandma, when she gave that interview, was talking about, and I saw somebody say it in the chat too, that Grandma talks about standing at the top of the hill and watching the boys walk down the hill. Could that be because she was the lookout so the boys didn't see who came and Summer got handed off to? I understood the West wouldn't let him in like that, Suzanne. He tried. I mean, I'm just wondering, and I think it's a flaw. It's something I've been looking at because she didn't have to go through the dog trail or like down a path that they normally went or nothing. It was literally like they. My understanding from what she said in the interview that I watched, the extended interview with Inslee Daniels, was that the boys walked down the power line thing. You know, the wide cut. Something else I want to talk about too, y'all. Um, okay, a lot of us is country folk in here, right? And I mean, I can walk on gravel with no problem barefooted when I was little. You know what I mean? Dead serious. I literally can walk across the granite rocks you have in your driveway. What I won't do is walk through the woods barefooted where the briar patches and stuff is. You know what I mean? You're not, even though that's cut, all that is cutting that stuff's laid across there. You still gonna step on the brambles and the briar patch and the poison ivy and the poison oak. You know, somebody walked down through there barefooted. So where did her bare footprint here and there one get put there from? Hmm. How did it get put and what was surrounding it? See, we've heard about the footprint, but we heard about what was around it. Was there dog print? Was there another human's print? Are y'all sure it was Summer's footprint? Could it have been another child's footprint? We don't know. If someone was carrying her and set her down to rest, Gigi, their footprints would have been around hers. I think Miss Kay, listen, I was been barefooting for years. Literally, I go check the mail, and if it ain't raining, I'm barefoot. But I don't walk through the woods because I'm not getting poison ivy or poison oak or none of that. I'll put on my slides. Yep, all my life. The footprints was verified to be children's footprints, thought to be Summers. Okay, but what was around them? Exactly. That's my thing. They haven't said. Nobody's understanding. They haven't said. Doesn't mean there wasn't. Doesn't mean there was. But if there's just one footprint of hers and there's not another one for another 500 yards, we know she didn't have that long a leg, y'all. So were there horses' hooves? Were there cows' prints? Were there dog prints? Was there another human's print? Because that's important. It's important. Miss Gina, you be careful. Right, Gigi, exactly. Exactly. It would be evidence, and they can't tell us because it would be evidence of an abductor or of another person with her. But why wouldn't they tell us if it was dog prints or horse prints around? Exactly, Katie Kitty. I 1,000% agree with what you just said. I wear the slides like footprints. Queen of Hearts, I'm with you. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. The only people we have to tell us that Summer was barefoot is her mom and dad. And I just showed you her mom lied. She either lied in the letter or she lied when she said her lawyer to handle it. One other way or the other, you're lying. They lied. They either lied in the first interview they had. One said she tried to cut her hair like the boys and mine, so finally we just had to shave it. The other one said, and mom even cut her hair like that so she wouldn't feel guilty. No, sir. And then we have pictures where Summer's head shaved to the scalp, and the boys and Mama Duke's got hair growing out. So, la 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 la. I mean, what else is it? Footprints, that's right. Maybe one or two of the footprints were deeper than others. True story, Katie Kitty, or Ronnie, because he wants them to mess up. Absolutely. Miss Cheryl 150, let me tell you something. I'd be screaming if Don was at work to a whole lot of shit. For real. Why is he the spokesperson? Why is he the spokesperson for the family? Here's another one for you. Let's draw another parallel. Why was the adopted mama the spokesperson in their interview when he was the last one with the kids? Oh, another parallel to the story. Yeah, I saw that, Doris. It just made me. Bleh, bleh. Do I do I have something for that? Let's see. Wow, Katie, it's possible. Right, and Suzanne, that doesn't make sense. He couldn't have left the house before they were up and left if they were at the hospital by 8 in the morning. Marilyn, yeah, he controlled the narrative, but she was the spokesperson. Don didn't even trust Candace to get in front of the camera. Why y'all think it took him to go to jail for her to take the YouTube channel out and be on it? The parents have told y'all a lot. A lot. They have had verbal diarrhea in this case. But when we look at how has law enforcement handled Summer's case as opposed to the West Boys case, and the fact that, and then let's contrast it with Michael Vaughn. Brandy's told us that every time they pooped about Michael's case, they're letting her know what's popping. And why are they doing that? But they didn't do that in the West case, and they're not doing it in the Wells case. Why? What's the difference? Well, the difference is that Michael Vaughn's mom has been 100% cleared. And every time you see her, she talks more about her son than she talks about herself. She's told us all kinds of stories about her son and conversations and interactions. We can't get one conversation and interaction about either. But it's, Katie, that's what it's important. The reason I want to draw these parallels is for the people that say, oh, but I feel sorry for her, or oh, but maybe this, and oh, but maybe that. I'm not going to be a juror. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not a judge. I'm not even an official journalist. What I am is Nita and Nita's world, and I have my thoughts and opinions, and that's what I'm putting. But I also throw facts out, straight facts. And the fact is that if I look at Summers' case, and I look at the West case and the Vaughn case, and I say, which case, the way it's being handled by law enforcement, the way it's been handled by the parents, and the way the storyline goes from day one, which case does Summers' case most closely resemble? And it's not going to be Michael Vaughn's case, honey. And that's a message. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all want a message for the parents from me? Y'all might want to watch the West case, because that's your future. That's your future. Please believe it. Candace and Dawn, that is your future. And your future sounds kind of like clank clank. I don't have that clank clanker. I'd give it to you and let you feel and see and know and hear. Let's see. Let's see if this. That's the one I meant to hear. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, because somebody said the West case in the chat. We got two of them here. Ding, ding, ding. Marilyn and Suzanne, ding, ding, ding. That's right. And I want to say again, thank you, Miss Ashley 87, guys. She helped. Helped. She sent this from the wish list that just makes things. Yeah, I got a new toy. It makes things just a little better for y'all. I can't wait to see them perp walks either, Teresa. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And I'm sorry that some people think I'm harsh and I'm cold hearted. I guess I have to own that. But you know what? I'm here for Summer, and looking at it from this perspective of what's the missing child, and what do I think and what do I feel is all I can do. That's where I have to stay with my mind. Yes, Don did. Don said that she was abducted. He knew it from the moment he drove up. Oh, love you too, CD. See, hold up.
Awesome!
Ah, yeah, just tired. I'm tired. Tired of trying to say, well, the evidence said, fuck that. The reality of the situation is 9 out of 10 times your gut is right. What did all of y'all be real with me in the chat right now? Right now. I need 100% realness, okay? Tell me 3 things I'm going to ask. The number one thing. Tell me the first time you ever heard about Summer's case. The first time you ever saw Don and Candace talking about this case. What was your gut feeling? Was your gut feeling, 1, Summer was abducted. 2, Summer was killed in an accident. I hate to say this. 3, Summer was hid. Or 4, something more sinister. I'm waiting. I'm going to give y'all a moment. I'm going to run to the ladies' facility. I got Can everybody hear me now? Okay, our bucket list. Um, Sorry, y'all. I know it sounds crazy, but a walk to the bathroom and back just wears me out for the last couple of days. Um, I am healing, so rest is helping. Um, just tired now, breathing heavy, and then I started coughing, and that done it. Woo. Um, I noticed that everybody gave not the majority of the votes were for number 4. Um, but re- most nobody chose abduction or anything that didn't involve knowledge by the parent. And I think that's important, you guys, because like somebody was saying in the chat, and no, I ain't never took no Emmy. Um, go back and look at that first initial video where Sincere and Classic, and I will not call them by their adoptive names because to me that's just disrespectful to them. Go back and look at the comments on the first video that those parents talked in, and then look at what's going on today, and then compare that with how you felt the first time that you saw Don and Candace talk. Yeah, it's all right, Katie. What I was saying is they gave me like 3 prescriptions, and I got like the steroids. I bought over the counter ibuprofen, and got the other medicine that they said I had to have to help me heal. And the muscle relaxers, I can go pick them up, but I just haven't got the money to get them in. So it is what it is. You good? Yeah, I actually replied back to you yesterday, Seashell Girly, in an email. Yeah, Peyton is a beast. I wish it was anything but some back pain. So I learned to try to go down the slide with little men who think I'm not, oh my Lord, 10 tornadoes. That's crazy. But I do want, I really want y'all to understand because that's what, you want to know what law enforcement, one of the first things they do, or profilers, one of the first things they do is they look at similar cases and how does this relate? How did those cases turn out? And which one does this most likely fit the profile of? And they listen to the parents and they look at the stories. And when you have a lot of A's and C's, and you get just like when she's telling the timeline of what happened that day in the summer, she can tell you the conversation she had with H. She can tell you the conversation she had with Grandma. She even tells the conversation with unnecessary details. How many of y'all ever went and asked some young boys that were all up in a video game or a TV program where their sister was? She went down. She's downstairs. She wanted to go play with her toys. No, they not giving all that info. That's 3 questions right there to get that info. They not doing that at all. They gonna say she went downstairs. I mean, real talk. You know good and well they not coming up. They not coming up out of the game long enough to give you even a half a paragraph. That's not how kids work. But that's how adults think when they write the story for the kids. I mean, think about that for a minute. at how adults think more than how kids think? That's how the adults think. That's what the adults are going to have to say about that, not the kids. I mean, call me crazy, but I think just like the West adopted parents thought that their two biological children and their other two adopted children wouldn't tell, that as soon as they got out the house, they started talking. I'm hoping it's that way for Summer's brothers. And it sounds like they are if they're saying the last place they saw their sister was on the swing. So what if when Grandma sent them down that hill, Summer was on that swing? What? Think about it. The last place her brother saw her was on the swing, right? We don't know when. So what if she's sitting on that swing and they were sitting down that hill when they came back? Summer's gone. We can't find her. Is that the order of events? Because we only know what the adults have told us. Remember that. We only know what the adults have told us. And we need to look more closely at what the adults in this case are saying. Because literally, they've lied to us every step, y'all. And now, by the parents saying, no, we don't have a lawyer, they're lying. Now the police is liars to us too. So who do we believe in this case? I'm sure they did threaten him with that, seeking serenity. But I've also heard that in the recent weeks, the boys have pretty much made it clear that they are happier where they at. That's what I've heard. They don't want to go home. Exactly. Exactly. I hope and pray they don't, for their best interest, because it's hard telling, Cheryl. Um, if we look, I mean, I have a portion of the indictment of the West parents. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but here, let me show you this. I'm waiting on the computer to catch up. It's gonna get huge in a second, real fast. Unfortunately, watch. Ugh. I knew it. It's gonna start flipping all around. Watch. Okay. Okay. Hope it won't move. It says it is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offense within the meaning of California rules of court. And then it says, on or about September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did willfully harm or endanger Classic and Sincere. We're going to say that. I will not. I just won't use. And it's both because they get charged with both. It just repeats this. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threats of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness with the meaning of California rules of court. It is further that the victim was particularly vulnerable. We're going to get to the part that's terrible. So hold on. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in its commission within the meaning of California rules of court. I'm not going to go to the next page. Oh, Miss Tina, I can't wait either. I'm not going to go to the next page because it goes into details about witness harassment and threats and some other things. I just want you guys to be prepared. When Summer's case gets to a certain point, we are going to have an indictment like this, and it will lay things out that we may not want to know and see. And we do have to be prepared for that. Yeah. I'm just saying be prepared for that because it's going to happen. Right on with y'all. Yep, they did. And I'll tell y'all, I see a lot of people asking about the death penalty. I did some looking into this. Well, for one thing, California does have a moratorium on the death penalty, y'all, by the governor. But it's a higher degree of standard that the state would have to prove their case to get these monsters convicted and behind bars, is one. It honestly would not give them that much more time. I know death penalty means you die, but nobody's been put to death since I believe it's the late 70s, early 80s. I have to look. For some reason, 83, 84 is in my head in California. The other thing is, when we look at how many people actually get put to death that are on death row and have death penalty cases, as opposed to how many die just of natural causes or over time or whatever may occur, living it out. Let me Now that's possible, seeking serenity. Generally, a state tried death penalty case. It's a state to state statistics. Generally, it costs that state more to house that prisoner, have them sit on death row, and pay their attorneys for all the appeals than it does to convict that person. But with no bodies, the state is really doing the smartest thing they can. Sorry, y'all, I'm having to move around a lot because it hurts. But the state is really doing the smartest thing that they can. What they're doing is they're bringing charges that they feel like they can get a conviction for, rather than reaching and then having double jeopardy attached. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense at all to anybody in here. I know it sucks. It sucks. It's not what any of us want to occur whatsoever. But I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. In Classic and Sincere's case, I'm praying that we hear there's been a plea bargain, because that will mean that somebody's telling where those babies are. And to be able to give them a proper burial, absolutely, exactly, seeking serenity. It does. It leaves the opportunity for there to be other charges, and doing it a different way would lock them in to the double jeopardy. And also, like I said, it's a higher standard to meet. When you want a death penalty, it's a higher standard. It's hard enough to be beyond a reasonable doubt. All a defense attorney has to do is put a reasonable mustard seed of doubt in that jury. And then parents can walk. We got to remember that too. That's what sucks about our legal system. And sucks big time. And what this, I'm gonna hit a button. Let's see what it is. Right. They want a conviction, but they have to prove it. And if nobody, it's harder to prove. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it sucks. It sucks. And you look at it in one sense, and it's like, well, innocent till proven guilty, man. It sucks when you're on the side of the victim. But what about those people that have been wrongly convicted? Sucks to be on their side too. I think that's why we have to take each and every person in instance and case differently. No two cases are going to be exactly the same because no two people are exactly the same. So when we start hearing the same damn lines coming out of people's mouths, makes you wonder. You know, I feel like Dawn told us a lot, and Candace, when they talking about other missing children, especially early on in the case, and how he's been watching this or that on YouTube, makes you wonder. Can y'all fathom what them search histories is like on them smart TVs and all them phones? That alone could keep an investigator, one or two, going for months, yo. You know, I mean, there's a lot, you guys, and an investigation like this being done in a year's time is fast, especially when you are going to have a DA deciding. Yeah, listen, to me, that's a different level, even on people can say what they want to, the foster care, this, that. Listen, Lindas, y'all took these babies from these people, and maybe they needed to be taken. We don't know. I've not studied that case. I've not looked into that part. So I'm not going to comment about that. What I am going to say is what I can see. And what I see is y'all took them babies from that family and gave them to these people who adopted them, it seems. Not fostered, but adopted, is what I've been told. And they killed them. And now we have another parent coming out saying that she's been told that at one time her children were placed with them, but she's gave up all her parental rights. So she doesn't even really have a right to ask where the kids went. And they're going to be renamed and everything. So it's not like DSS is going to tell the news media or they're going to tell somebody, whatever. So how do we even know that these kids weren't lost in the system at the West House and that they ain't somewhere? There's no way ever that we'll know. That's the scary, sick part of some of these cases, you guys. You damn right, Betty Joe. They had over 50 people testify straight out the gate. Straight out the gate. I know that from looking at the indictment. There were the state's evidence, and it was a true bill indictment. Remember that part. A true bill indictment. That's even stronger than just a regular old indictment. Are they wild horses? Because they would have to be like 8 and 10 years old. So they really are her kids, and they were still with the West, which is even worse. Because that means I can't say what it means based on the indictment. I'm not. All I know is the indictment details that someone of diminished capacity, a minor of diminished capacity, was one of the main people that assisted in what happened. Yeah, they took all of them from them now. That's what I thought, Lisa. It's bad. I'm not going. That's as much as I'm talking about it. If you want to look at it, you can look at the indictment. Awesome. Got you, wild horses. Because it'd been a little over 5 years, not quite 6, that they had them. It hurts my soul. Like, I can't. When I look, I've had so many people ask me why I didn't cover Classic and Sincere's case. And I'll tell y'all why. Because they look too much like my grandson. I mean, and the age is too close. I can't. Like, I've watched it as much as I can handle. And it is in California. And I thought there was a lot of people who could do a better job than me that were closer to where that case was. And, I think when we're talking about bringing awareness of cases, especially involving children, that you got to look at what's best for that case and that child. So that's where I went with that. Thank you, exposing crime. Um, I don't intend to stop. I don't. I don't know how anybody else feels. I just don't feel like the 15th was when it was. I think the 15th was to uh, cover it up. What's up, Valkyrie? I saw you today earlier in Miss B's channel. I love going over there. Nothing but love from those ladies. I met Miss B a long time ago at Summer's Vigil in person. So I like to go hang out and show some love other to other channels on occasion. For some reason, I think so seeking serenity. I really do. What's up, Cheryl Carol? Yeah, I got it. Did somebody grab the Russian bot? Oh, I got you, Miss Ashley. Yeah, and let me see if I can get it. I'm just about wore out, y'all. Oh, as long as I don't swivel wrong, I'll be good. Oh, trying to scroll back and see. Thank you, Miss Ashley, for grabbing the bot. Is it buffering for you, Katie? I know, right? Don't, ain't Russian bots busy with the war and stuff right now? Oh, you good, Ash? You the only mod I think we got in here right now. Hello, Miss Magenta Dreams. So, does anybody have any questions or comments I want to, I'm going to fix it. I want to play, oh, I think somehow I closed it off. Damn it. I want to play this part again. I'm going to get struck, I'll get struck. Alright, before I go, I want to play this clip one more time while we've got more people in here so everybody can see it.
Correct. So thank you, Steve. So
That's a really smart idea, Valkyrie, I think. Um, Smarter than most people would think of, I'll tell you. And I think Dan just gave us a blueprint for telling if somebody's lying to her. Ashley, I think it's because they're looking at more serious charges. I think they're probably working with law enforcement. Um, you know, in the West case, look, both parents got charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, but they also got 2 felony counts of, basically child neglect, endangerment, and having them do things that was outside of their well-being. I think that we'd been better off if they'd went on Wilco's too. I think so. Steve wouldn't have played no games. And I really would love to see Dan get a hold of one of them on the lie detector test. I just think that when we compare this case with other cases, let's look at Holly Klaus's parents. Look at even the John Benet Ramsey case. Compare Summers' case with a lot of other cases. In the Elizabeth Smart case, even when she wasn't found for 20 years, her parents didn't act this way. Her room was still there. They gave her Summer's toys and clothes away before October, you guys. That right there said enough to me. One difference between the West case and the Wells case, and Valkyrie, this goes to what you just said. Look at the fact the West made that one statement and quit because they lawyered up. They lawyered straight up. The Wells, they got no daggum lawyers. And I want to know why. Can y'all please tell me why? All these people they got around them, advising them and caring about them and talking to them and giving them, why they ain't got no damn lawyer? Why? But why do they not have a lawyer? I ain't never seen Dr. Phil so soft. And she has said she does, right. Katie Kitty, I think so too. Money, money, money. Yup, Lisa, exactly. That's specifically who I'm referring to. Yup. Ashley, I'm surprised. See, this is what I don't understand is why haven't they done that? I don't know why they haven't done that already. I don't know why. That makes no sense to me. Just like when we were talking about the forensics. Why have we not seen any forensics? Where are their family, Katie? Where, not just Sonia, where's their cousins? I've asked this before. Where the cousins and shit at? I already showed that, Valkyrie. Where she was on the Predator Hunters, a Predator Hunter Nation, or something like that. Exactly. And it's also about perception. If you hire a lawyer, you look guilty. And if you trying to pull one over, you ain't trying to look guilty. But not just Sonia. What about Candace? Where's her family? Why is it just Grandma? Candace got sisters and brothers and shit. She got cousins. Grandma had sisters and brothers and shit. Where'd her family? Let me find it. I got something I want to show y'all before I end this. Okay, Miss Karen. Before I end this, I want to show y'all something. Let's see. It's a picture. Two specific ones. It's this. Oh, oh. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking through emails right quick to show y'all something. Should be right in here. Damn it. It's this far back. Okay, I guess. I'll have to post it on. What's your name in this email? Guess I'm going to post it on my community page as soon as I can find it. I got an email that has screenshots of Andy, Jody Sue's Andy, and Brad or Chase is. It's got Chase in it and Andy's mama. You could tell somebody was spying. And I can't find them in my email right now. I just have so many, I guess. So I'll just find it and post it on my wall. Yeah, it's the one of Jason Andy's mama. I've got it, 2 of them. I just can't find it. Sorry, guys. So I'm just gonna have to find it and post it on the community tab section. That's even worse to know that Chase hangs out at the Sharpies, isn't it? Yeah, it looked. That's what was weird to me, was that it looked as if somebody was like in the bushes. Yep, grand juries do meet this month. I wonder who took the picture. So I was trying to find it. I wanted to see the clothes. So that's crazy that Chase hangs out at the Sharpies. You got me tripping over that one. Alright, guys, I'm gonna get up here and lay down. I might see if I can talk Lacey into running and get me some man drop quick. I don't know, Ashley. On that one, I honestly don't know. Oh, sir. Alright, guys. Peace, love, and light, and I'll see you tomorrow night.